was a little child, I came face to face with my own reality. Said I'm a grown up man, I'm a man. There's much more to me than you can tell. I've been to many places, I've seen so many faces. We're arguments in the air. I can't say no for anything. I can't walk another mile. I can't climb over anything if you are by my side.
Hello and welcome to Hanging with Diasporans, the program where we connect Nigerians at home and abroad to discuss issues shaping our nation and our future. Today we turn our attention to one of the most urgent concerns facing Nigeria: security. From kidnappings to violent attacks and growing fear affecting everyday life, many families are asking the same question: when will Nigeria ever feel safe again? Our thoughts are especially with the children who have recently been kidnapped, families, and every community with uncertainty and trauma that insecurity brings. But for those families living with this, our thoughts and our prayers are with you. And of course, that's the big issue on Hanging with Diasporans today. Because security is more than just government responsibility. It is the foundation of education, economic growth, national unity, and public confidence. When children cannot go to school without fear, when families worry about traveling on our roads, and communities live under constant threat, the future of the nation is affected. Today we ask, what practical solutions can restore safety and strengthen public confidence and better protect Nigerian communities? To help us explore these important questions, we're joined in the studio by none other than Dr. Doyin Odebowale, former Senior Special Assistant to the late Ondo State Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu. My first question is this. Many Nigerians are asking, how did Nigeria move so quickly from relatively stable security and a secured environment in most of its region now to atmosphere of banditry, kidnapping, violent crimes, and it appears widespread? What did we do?
Well, I think it was only a matter of time, for us to... If we had been perspicacious enough, if we had taken our time to understand the terrain, to study, the problem, it should not have been difficult for us to know that this is the result that we'll be getting. The fact that at the time the issue of insecurity was restricted to the northeast of Nigeria, gave us this false sense of complacency. We felt that it could not come down south. We felt it could not come down until they started to move towards the south. And what was initially associated with herdsmen who moved their cattle into farmlands and attacked farmers, burned down villages for them to occupy, and the federal government pretended as if nothing was happening. We started on the plateau, by killing people, displacing them, renaming their villages. Buhari shot, just kept quiet as if nothing was happening. Malami, all of them kept quiet. All of them kept quiet. Ganduje, all of them. Rufai, all of them kept quiet. Masari, while these things were happening. So these Fulani people became emboldened to continue. In the northeast, you had the Kanuri attacking, but in the plateau, was the Fulani were, attacking people, making things difficult for people. So by the time they got to the southwest, By the time they got to the Southwest, what we first found as, settlements all over, Southwest, they appeared in no cause, harmless. No, these people are just living in the forest. It's a lie. It's a lie. We foresaw a danger and we warned the Nigerian state, that having a security architecture could not sustain that we stood no chance, to face the challenges posed by insecurity successfully. So that was how we started to take our own initiatives, with a view to, curtailing whatever was coming, because we knew it would come. We knew it would come. We knew it would come because it was inexorable that we will have this type of problem. But it's rather unfortunate now that those we now have at the helm of affairs in the Southwest and in other parts of the country are just clueless. They don't understand what they are up against. They don't. They don't understand. They don't understand it at all.
All right. So, if I understand you correctly, sir, this is to indicate that there were warning signs. These things didn't just happen upon us.
They were. As a matter of fact, when we found some Fulani elements in our forest, and we moved in with a view to evicting them, it was Garba Shehu, as we were asking them to leave our forest. The following morning, Garba Shehu made a press release, that they had the right to live in any part of the country. That nobody had the right to be asking Fulani to leave the forest. Our forest reserve, we are even the indigenous were not permitted to be. So as where Akiti now instructed me to respond to him.
When you said earlier on that the people that are there now do not have the understanding of the problem, of what the problem is about. In your own view, what's on this? Could you elaborate on this? Expatiate on it.
I don't have any particular person, in mind when I say this. I don't want it to be seen as, Odebowale attacking a particular person. We have gone beyond that stage now.
Yes, because what we want now, for us in diaspora, we just want to be able to sleep with our eyes closed. I wonder what is happening at home when people at home cannot sleep. And what if we are this panicky, if we are this scared, people who at home are not relaxed, they can't sleep with their eyes closed. I wonder how people at home are feeling. I mean, the only way forward is now to not scare, to not think about whose horse is good, just address the issues as they are.
Well, you see, it's not even about caring about whose source is God. All of us are involved in it. All of us are going to be affected in one way or the other, with this problem. By this problem. So the leadership, the Southwest leadership political leadership has been so clueless as to how to combat this. You see, when something happens, then you see the knee-jerk response to it. That will show you that they don't know what they are doing. Take, for instance, the governor of my state, Ogun State. The governor of my state is a very incompetent fellow. He doesn't know jack about governance. He doesn't know anything about it, and that is the truth. It is so glaring. Ogun State is a major problem for the other southwestern states. My village, Ogireremo, every day they come to dump these, young men from the north. They come with trucks. They come with food produce. They come with alubosa, with tomato, even with cows, with cattle. They dump them, and from that place they distribute them all over Southwest.
Wow.
Ogun State, Ogireremo, Shasha, in Ibadan. And they are all over. Go to Ijebode now, you now have this Almanjiri boy, these children moving around the towns. What was strange to us is now becoming what we are beginning to accept. You find beggars everywhere. The only skill they have is how to use the weapons, how to use the dagger, and how to use the guns. And you are unleashing them on a society, on a pliant people, on people who just sit down and want to just live quietly. No, you are going to have problems. That's why it's not going to stop. Now, before a small boy would be asked to follow a herd of cattle, to far distances like that. And at the end of it, what are they getting from it? But now to kidnap somebody, when you are kidnapped, you have to bring 50 million naira, then you start negotiating. They will collect something all the same. They ask you to go and sell your property. They even negotiate, they look for buyers. Those who buy your farmlands while you are held in captivity. So they sell off your land, they receive the money, they now release you into nothing. Those who buy the farmlands, those who kidnap you, there is a syndicate.
Moving away from that, I understand that it's even without saying, it goes without saying that it's indeed a syndicate. Now, going from there, at this point, you mentioned the fact that you mentioned the fact that they are so clueless, they don't know what would you have done differently?
The very first thing you do as a person who's in charge of lives and property is mapping. You have to map your own territory. Even in animal kingdom, they do that.
Yes.
Mapping, you have to know the boundaries, you have to know what you are dealing with, your terrain. You have to know, the possibility of ingress and egress. You have to be certain concerning those things. How people come in, when they come in, where they go to. You have to, that is basic. So if you're unable to know that, and you delegate that responsibility to some people you call SSA or SA or what have you, you are a useless government. If you are a commissioner of police or you are in charge of security and you don't know anything about mapping, you don't know where you are supposed to secure, you are not serious. Then it is inconceivable that we have a country of over 240 million and you now have one command structure. That was what they challenged, and that was what gave back to Amotekun, and that was what they didn't like. Now people are talking about state police now.
Yes, sir. That's where I'm going. You are one of the major ideas behind Amotekun, and we know the importance of local knowledge in fighting kidnappers and bandits. But how effective has this been? Recently, given the current kidnappings around the states now.
Amotekun, was conceived as an idea of securing the geographical space we know as Southwest. Amotekun. The original idea came from Akerelu, God rest his soul. It came as a result of what we experienced in those states. The challenges we faced, how some elements were killing people on the farmlands, how kidnap people and like that. And if anything happened, if anybody was caught, the next minute somebody is calling from Abuja. If you arrested a cow, you ask them, you did an anti-open grazing law, and the next thing is anybody who flouted the law was arrested, and the next thing somebody is calling from Abuja asking the area commander or the CP to release those arrested. So we were frustrated. So part of this frustration that we started talking about, look, I studied classics. I have a PhD in classics. I'm a lawyer. So we got talking. Aketi and I and some other people, after this unfortunate incident, the woman was killed on her farm. She was raped and killed. She had earlier complained concerning how these Fulani elements were moving into our farmlands and destroying our crops. So they settled some problems between that woman and the Fulani people. They paid for what was destroyed. So they now trailed this woman to her farm, raped her, and killed her.
Wow.
Then another incident was the killing of the Oba of Ifon in Ondo State.
Yes.
Olufon, who was killed. That Oba left us in Akure. He came for a meeting, the meeting of Joshua rulers. He left in a hurry. In fact, I parked my car close to where these Obas had their vehicles when he rushed out. Then, less than 2.5 hours later, we heard that he had been killed. We were worried. As he was entering Ifon, they shot and killed him. Then about a week after that incident, some cows entered people's farmlands and the youth of that axis became angry. They attacked those cows, they killed one, injured several. Then they now come from Abuja that we must produce those who injured, those who killed the cow and injured the others. The whole king was killed. Nobody was bothered. Nobody even called to commiserate. Nobody was interested in finding the killers of the king. But they called that we should produce those who killed the cow. Who was the meaning of this? That the killing of a cow still falls within the criminal law of Ondo State. That will look into it as Ondo State, a subnational in Nigeria, that we are not going to do it. So it was at that point that I was in the office with some people, Alagbaye and others. I discussed with him the idea of the police, that you don't have a single command structure in a federal system. So we decided they said I should do a secret memo to him on it. And I did. And it was this secret memo that he used as a template when he discussed with the Dawn Commission in Ibadan.
Okay.
The Dawn Commission now took it as a project. The Dawn Commission took it as a project and invited, intellectuals, scholars from the Southwest who sat in Ibadan and they held a meeting. Then once they came up with something, they came up even with the name of Professor Tayo Adeshina, a professor of history, University of Ibadan, who suggested the name Amotekun, and the name was taken out because. So the whole idea is about breaking Nigeria into units, breaking the Southwest into units, breaking Ondo State into units, making sure that security is local. Intelligence gathering. The very first meeting we held in Ondo State was with local hunters. Akiti gave us the permission. By us, I mean Baba Dojuma and me. Dojuma was the SSA of security. While I handled this, special duties and strategy. So we had meetings with local hunters. And they were to be the ones who gather intelligence and all of this. But by the time the whole thing was established, I regret to say that they deviated from the original concept. That's the way you say they are no longer able to track kidnappers. The Amotekun you now have even want to become traffic wardens. The Amotekun you have are now becoming debt collectors. Those who now form the Amotekun that you'll find in all southwestern states are those whose names politicians submitted. They are thugs, the land grabbers, they are hitmen. That's why you cannot have any. If they are,
stuck to the original plan.
Yes, if they are stuck to the original plan, we couldn't have had any. In fact, by now we should be thinking about how to move further. But I think that now we are stuck. You can see them, they pay back with francs. They want to replicate what the Nigerian police is doing. Any commander you find, just look at the rank like an IG.
I'd like to take you back like a few steps at this point. The first is initially you mentioned you said they called from Abuja. Who is they in this scenario?
You see, the police formation was such that you see the governor is the chief security officer of the state in name. Why is it no policeman will take instructions from the governor? Especially when you have any clash between the interests of the state and those of the federal government. So these cattle, most of these people you find around, they just rear cattle for big men in society. For big men in society, local politicians, military men, and what have you. So when that happened, and they just said that we should produce those who kill the cow, and Katie said they must be that they were not serious.
That explains.
So the organs in Abuja, the police leadership wanted their own commissioners in commissioner in Ondo State, the area commander, under which that
incident happened.
That problem occurred. They wanted him to produce those who killed the cow. They were not interested in how the old king of a town died, but they were much interested in how a cow died. So we found that ludicrous.
Yes, it is laughable. You also mentioned syndicates. I'm taking you back there again. Because insecurity in Nigeria, it's something, if we have all been to environments where it works, and we understand that these things are all network. If we watch a movie, ordinary movie, the first thing they tell you is to follow the money. Now, if huge amounts of monies are exchanging hands,
precisely.
If
now we pretend to be running a
cashless society, so
we now to be driving your own money from your bank account, certain restrictions are placed on you. Now you now have a situation where as much as 50 million naira, 100 million naira is moved into the forest to pay ransom. If you release such huge amounts into the economy without marking them,
without tracking, without marking, without notifying the police,
collect the ransom.
Yes.
You collect ransom and they just disappear like that.
Okay.
I give you a practical example. The Methodist of the prelate of the Methodist Church, of Nigeria was kidnapped. This man was with them, and the kidnappers demanded 100 million naira as ransom. They were going to kill him. So his church mobilized and brought 100 million naira. They informed the security agencies. Close to where the man was kept and close to where the money was dropped, there was a military checkpoint. Those who took the money into the forest met the military. They didn't stop them, they didn't ask them for where they were going to. As if they understood. And they dropped the money and they released the prelate, and nothing happened. No, but not one person was arrested or has been arrested till date. And until now, we don't know what they want. Exactly. And the times some people say, they needed money, they wanted Sharia, they did this, then they used one of the captives to
send a message to say that the government is lying against them.
Yeah, they are not asking. Apparently, some smart criminals in Oyo State government or elsewhere had wanted to use that to collect 1 billion. So, like that. It's now a racket.
How do we proceed from here? What do we do? Everybody is scared. Parents are scared. Students are scared. I mean, at some point, I felt we should have declared a state of emergency. Everything is just
declaring a state of emergency is not solve any problem.
Which way then?
Because are you going if you declare a state of emergency, are you going to ask people not to go out again? Are you going to ask children not to go to school? Are you going to ask workers not to resume in their offices? You should learn to defend yourself minimally, at least. When they come to attack you, know that before you try to protect yourselves. Then if you want to go to Orioke to go and pray, You want to go to Orioke, a secluded place. You are asking to be kidnapped. If a pastor or a prophet wants money or wants to sleep with free women, and all he has to do is to ask you to separate yourself from your own people, to come into one forest to come and pray, to come and fast, or to come and have a sacred bath in a river. Look, for now, if you go, you're asking to be kidnapped, and you will be kidnapped, and nothing will happen. So until everything gets back to normalcy, we have to consider that those who want to attack us are not going to go to the barracks, even if they do so occasionally. They are not going to go to where they are going to be resisted. They will go for the soft belly of the society, the vulnerable people. They attack children, they pick women, they pick schoolgirls. They won't even attack schoolboys. University students who are these days, university students even run away. I don't know what has come over everybody. So the very first thing is we have to have this mind of resistance. We reject it in principle. Then we begin to ask questions. Anybody who wants to talk rubbish where we are and wants to preach one obsolescent religion, we have to tell that person to go to hell and remain there. Anybody who is bringing a stranger ideology into our system, we have to reject it. But we have cowards as leaders. They are unable to confront these fundamentalists. This current president, President Tinubu, even gave Muslims 90 billion naira subsidy to go for Hajj. Why the moving subsidy? Yeah, 90 billion that amount 90 that all of them they stole. They stole the money and they have not used Sharia to behead them. The governor, the president is talking about the state police now. The governor seem to be in a hurry to embrace what he's saying. State police, yes, we have to have state police, but who are you going to recruit? Who are you going to recruit? If you are thinking of replicating what you have in Nigeria Police Force in 36 states and the FCT, you are going to compound the problem. You have to think, who exactly are you recruiting? So you have to think about so many things before we have a lot of problems. But indigeneity, if you are talking about state police, in Lagos State, in Ogun State, indigenes must be recruited. Not only indigenes, those who know the environment. Among the indigenes, you don't bring in somebody from Bauchi to come and be police Lagos now. Doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense anywhere in the world.
All right. So what about the Igboho tactics? The Igboho tactics and all that?
Well, you see, Igboho thing, I don't want to condemn the young man. I use young man because I'm older than he is. And we don't want to condemn him. Whoever wants to do anything should not be discouraged. But I will also sound this note of warning that we must coordinate our response in a way that as we are solving one problem, we should not be inheriting another, duplicating another one.
All right, what about those calling on Donald Trump to come and save Nigeria? Where do you think that is going?
Donald Trump cannot save any Nigeria now. Donald Trump cannot. He can only assist. He can assist us in terms of technology. He can assist us in terms of, he cannot save us. We are the ones to save ourselves. We can only ask him to assist us in particular areas. Technology, please, intelligence, please use your superior intelligence, your superior technology to let us locate where these people are. As they said just about 2 or 3 days ago that America, intercepted some IEDs in the northeast, and they were able to beat in Borno. They intercepted it. I said the second largest since 9/11. They got that in Borno. America did that, so we expect them to do that. But Donald Trump will not just come in to assist you. Donald Trump will not assist you to combat bandits who are even indigenous of these places. Donald Trump will not come to Sokoto to come and fight Akurawa now. Sultan of Sokoto, what is he doing? They just killed one man in Benue State now. That is condemnable. The chairman of Magban, Onfuladima, was killed in Benue. The Sultan suddenly found his voice. He said the government should find the killers. They're looking for justice. They have been killing people in Plateau, in Jos. The Sultan has not, I have not read anything from him concerning these mass killings. In Old Oyo Park now, they are mining lithium illegally. The locals don't have the technology to mine. Those who bring in this technology to mine illegally are the ones who bring in weapons. They are the ones who protect these criminals. Then the state government cannot continue to feign ignorance. What is the state security doing? People are doing illegal mining. I was at Itasa with Odebowale and others. Go and see the level of destruction. And the locals, the indigenous of those places cannot go to farm again. They are brought in people with weapons who prevent them from moving, even in their own villages. So these are the issues. It might be so simplistic. We just sit down and just they are picking us. They are kidnapping. They are leading. Kidnapping is now, they also put them on the stock exchange. Kidnapping is big business now.
Thank you so much, Dr. Odebowale. Thank you so much for being a part of the show and giving with the Diasporans. I really appreciate you. Dr. Odebowale holds a PhD degree in classics from the University of Ibadan, and he studied law at the Obafemi Awolowo University, and is a solicitor and advocate of the Supreme Court of Nigeria, and a former senior special assistant to the late governor of Ondo State, Oluwarotimi Akeredolu-san, on special duties and strategic. You're welcome again, sir. Thank you so much for being a part of us. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. Welcome back from that break. It's good to know that you're still hanging in there with us. Though fear may shadow our streets, our courage, unity, and compassion will light the way to a safer Nigeria. You've got to believe that. And all of us have got to live that reality. Well, find us on our social media platforms. On Instagram, it's Hanging with Diasporans. On YouTube, it's Folajogun Akinlami Television. Join us, like us, subscribe to watch us weekly, and you'll be glad we did. Until next week, when we bring you another interesting episode, I remain your host, Folajogun Akinlami, and this is Hanging with Diasporans.
When I was a little child, I came face to face with my own reality. Said I'm a grown up and I'm a man. There's much more to me than you can